This episode of the Matt Report podcast is brought to you by my new podcast, The WP Minute. Find it at thewpminute.com. Jump on the email list to know when the first episode drops over at thewpminute.com. Get the top headlines in WordPress news in 5 minutes every week. It's a new audio experience packed with WordPress news and a fun-sized podcast episode. Know the WordPress headlines before you finish that first cup of coffee for the day. Get on the list at thewpminute.com. That's thewpminute.com. Easy support videos now loading over at easysupportvideos.com. That's easysupportvideos.com. It's a fun way to support and educate your WordPress customer or website users using video and small snippets of text. Version 2.0 is coming soon, where you can place videos on the post edit screen, a custom post type, a global video that loads across the entire admin. It's up to you. Version 2.0 has the same great features that exist now, like customizable video gallery in the dashboard with so much more. Get it free in WordPress.org or go to easysupportvideos.com. Stop going back and forth with support emails. Put your helpful videos right where your customer needs them. Get it free, easysupportvideos.com. This episode of the Matt Report podcast is brought to you by my new podcast, The WP Minute. Find it at thewpminute.com. Jump on the email list to know when the first episode drops over at thewpminute.com. Get the top headlines in WordPress news in 5 minutes every week. It's a new audio experience packed with WordPress news and a fun-sized podcast episode. Know the WordPress headlines before you finish that first cup of coffee for the day. Get on the list at thewpminute.com. That's thewpminute.com. Easy support videos now loading over at easysupportvideos.com. That's easysupportvideos.com. It's a fun way to support and educate your WordPress customer or website users using video and small snippets of text. Version 2.0 is coming soon, where you can place videos on the post edit screen, a custom post type, a global video that loads across the entire admin. It's up to you. Version 2.0 has the same great features that exist now, like customizable video gallery in the dashboard with so much more. Get it free in WordPress.org or go to easysupportvideos.com. Stop going back and forth with support emails. Put your helpful videos right where your customer needs them. Get it free, easysupportvideos.com. This episode is a reading of a blog post I published in defense of Elementor versus Webflow. WordPress product pricing is too cheap. Elementor, the most popular page builder for WordPress these days, has announced a price hike which will come into effect on March 9th, 2021. Comments are as you expect on that blog post. Things like, I loved Elementor Pro, but $9.99 instead of $199 is a complete deal breaker. And crazy! ! Your products are very good, but your operation is very bad. Elementor is no longer competing with WordPress. They're going after the biggest bully in the room, Webflow. Elementor versus Webflow. Elementor versus Gutenberg is a zero-sum game. Listen to my most recent episode with Matt Mullenweg to get his opinion on Jetpack versus the world for more clarity on that. Why compete against an ecosystem that harvests low-price offerings and has a general feeling of, I can do this for free? Elementor would be smart to take on Webflow. No-code is a massive movement right now. Coding tools that put the power back into the hands of, well, people like me, savvy enough to know how web technology comes together, but not smart enough to actually learn how to code. If you're looking for a product that makes coding a site easy to sell to clients, plus does the hosting, plus gives you a billing portal to earn your cut, Webflow is hard to beat. Note, I didn't say it's the cheapest way to do all of this, and that's the rub. If I'm Elementor, that's the market I go after. Gutenberg plus Jetpack are going to dominate the free to low-cost offering in a year's time. Gutenberg plus full-site editing inside of free WordPress is a mass market play into laying the monetization groundwork for Jetpack. Elementor is smart for keeping the beta tag on their cloud offering too. They're going to build this plane while it's in flight. More on that later. Elementor pricing versus Webflow pricing. If you go to the blog post, you'll see the actual pricing grids. It's hard for me to illustrate every single price here. I'm not going to read every single one of them out loud. But current Elementor pricing puts it at $199 per year for 1,000 websites, with the new pricing at $999 per year for 1,000 websites, which includes some more stuff, most notably VIP support for up to 10 members. And then when you start to look at the pricing of Webflow, Webflow is very sneaky and somewhat complex on how they price their plans. You can get in for free and start toying around with a couple projects, but then to launch those projects, you need a site plan for each project. So those prices range from anywhere between $12 a month to $36 a month, or an enterprise offering that you have to contact them for. And then you say, okay, well, that's not that bad. And it's not, but if you need an account where you can manage projects with other team members and be able to export and move those sites around, you need an account plan, which gets billed separately. And it's free to start. You get those 2 projects. But if you want to have 10 projects in your pipeline, you need to have at least the $16 a month account plan. And then if you want to go unlimited, as in you have more than 10 projects at a time, you have to pay a fee of $35 a month. And then if you're growing into a team, you have to get a team plan, which is $35 per person. So if you're a boutique agency, that's $35 per person per year, $42 a month if billed monthly per person. And then lastly, their e-commerce plan starts at $29 a month, and then $74, and then $212 per month. All with these certain restrictions, which we'll get into right now. So let's jump on the big Elementor elephant in the room. First, $9.99 for 1,000 websites. At the current price of $199 a year, Elementor is an absolute steal. So when people do back-of-the-napkin math, a 5 times increase seems crazy. How could you charge that, they shout. Proper messaging and optics aside, as it looks like they fumbled that ball a little bit, it's not as bad when the dust settles somewhere near Webflow's corner of the web. The $9.99 a year for 1,000 websites seems like chicken feed when you peel back the curtain of Webflow's free account. Webflow Teams feature pricing. Allow me to present one pricing model out of the jumble of this pricing grid setup above. I'd say anyone buying into the $9.99 a year for Elementor is probably a boutique agency comprised of an agency owner, a project manager, 1 designer, 2 developers, and a customer support rep. At least this is how my agency was configured when I led it day to day. Team plans are charged at $42 per user per month. Arguably, one of the biggest benefits to using Webflow is to centralize your agency's work all into one platform. The owner can oversee all employees plus the customers. Project managers can manage all the projects, and the rest of the team does the actual work on the websites. The fee to use Webflow Teams, if billed monthly using my boutique agency account, is $252 a month, or $3,024 for the year. $2,520 if you decide to pay for the year up front for that team of 6. Skip the team features entirely, you say? Well, aside from losing all of the centralized management, there's a sub-feature in there that I know a lot of agencies want, and that's white labeling. Pony up if you want to hide Webflow branding from clients. Webflow site hosting pricing. Limitations around WordPress websites is something that I have a hard time wrapping my head around. Depending on which industry you hail from, the following will either hurt your brain or you'll feel right at home. Each plan is going to come with a certain set of restrictions that you're not used to dealing with in the WordPress world. For example, on the business plan at Webflow, you have a maximum of 100 static pages, 1,000 form submissions, and 3 content editors. This, plus other plan limitations, costs $20 per month per website, if paid monthly. You heard that right. That's per customer website. Remember, $252 a month is for your Webflow team account, not the website hosting. We'll use 35 client sites under management in our agency example, which I think illustrates a healthy boutique agency. That's an additional $700 a month in hosting paid to Webflow alone. We're now at $952 a month to use Webflow for our agency of 6 with 35 clients under management. Webflow e-commerce pricing. What's that? A client wants to sell something on their website? Now the rubber meets the road. let's talk limitations again. Webflow e-commerce standard is $42 a month. That gives you 500 items maximum, branded emails, meaning your receipts, your invoices, your forgot passwords all have Webflow's branding on it, a 2% transaction, so an additional $1,000 a year cost towards the customer, 3 staff accounts, and a cap of $50,000 in annual sales. Webflow e-commerce Plus, $84 a month, has 1,000 items total, unbranded emails, 0% transaction, 10 staff accounts, and my God, you can sell up to $200,000 in annual sales. Can you guess which plan Webflow wants you to choose? Of course, you're going to opt for the $84 a month just to have the luxury of Webflow not stamping customer receipts with their logo, plus not charging you another $1,000 in transaction fees. Imagine if WooCommerce shipped with a hard-coded cap to how much a customer store earns or a limit on the user accounts. Sounds like a rant, but it's a lesson. What Webflow does right that Elementor is learning. Webflow is saying, if you do up to $200,000 a year in e-commerce business, we'll take $1,008 of that to host your e-commerce site. Want more? Pay more, but to be fair, you get more also, at least on paper. The part a lot of us get wrong in the WordPress world is we don't align value with expectations. We say, do $1 million in revenue for free, not aligning the expectations of what $1 million company has. Which brings us to support, the cost of support. It was in the new pricing of Elementor's studio and agency plan that cemented my assumptions on their charge towards Webflow. That, and they both have expert corners, Elementor versus Webflow. Studio plan is $499 a year, plus VIP support up to 5 members. Agency plan, $999 a year, plus VIP support for up to 10 members. Just digest that for a moment. Your entire agency can open up a ticket with Elementor to request support. Do you allow 10 people in your customer's company to file a support ticket with you? If you charge for it, awesome. If you don't, you're crazy. I'd venture a guess, he says sarcastically, that support is a high cost for Elementor, given their promise plus target customer type. They literally give a website building tool away for free so that anyone can charge any sum of money as a service. It's an unhealthy imbalance that the WP builder crowd has seemed to have forgotten or willfully ignored. As if WordPress being open source and free, so should any other product in this space be. Webflow isn't ashamed at charging for support, and simultaneously doesn't paint the clearest picture for someone who might be paying even $1,000 a month as an agency. They have a customer support policy that gives you the standard 48-hour response while reserving dedicated support for enterprise clients, which you need a custom quote for. I'd imagine that to be around $5,000 a month after you talk to a salesperson. The white glove support premium is what you ask your clients to pay. Why shouldn't Elementor do the same? The battle of platforms, Elementor versus Webflow versus Jetpack. We didn't finish the calculations in the previous section. Keep those 35 clients in mind. As an example, at Pagely, you can buy a dedicated server for $499 a month that serves 35 individual WordPress apps. You get AWS infrastructure and a dedicated top-tier support team that's, let's say, on par or better than Webflow. Break down Elementor's $999 a month plan, and you're at $582 a month for hosting plus Elementor. You don't need a contact form plugin or pop-up plugin because Elementor provides that for you. And guess what? They'll provide more in the future. That's where they are headed. That's why their cloud solution still has the beta tag on it. It's not going to happen now, but in a year's time, maybe even 2, they'll have more third-party plugin features built into Elementor, maybe even e-commerce, just like Jetpack. Jetpack will win in the free-to-cheap builder space. For less than $200 a year, you'll get everything you want as a small business owner. From $201 to $999 a year, you can become a WooCommerce shop. Where would that leave Elementor? They need to start upping their game and pick up on another brand that doesn't have the reach plus brand that Automatic does. And they might as well play nice with them while they're at it too. If Elementor is too expensive, you're doing it wrong. Don't build a bridge of profits on foundations that's too cheap to withstand its weight. Even the most amateur site builder in the US should be charging at least $1,000 to build a complete website solution. Remember, Automatic just set the bar for you for charging $5,000 to build websites under their brand. Surely you can sell someone on personalized value. A healthy digital agency is not formed in the transaction of the website build alone, but the ongoing support you provide them. Even at $99 a month to support your client, your revenue per customer is around $2,200 a year. If you need help selling care plans, go talk to my friend Troy at WP Elevation. I created a video titled Feature Lust a while back to illustrate the fallout of how cheap product prices hurt the WordPress economy, plus the expectations from both the agency and the client. We're living in times of a market correction. Smart product companies are going to charge for the value that they are worth, and it's up to them to deliver on that promise. You want to have businesses survive. It's better for you and your clients. Shuffling around tools and products for price alone is a short-term game. P.S. I think lifetime deals for WordPress products should die in a fire. By the way, I have a new podcast coming soon for WordPress news. Join in at thewpminute.com. That's thewpminute.com. If you build a lot of sites for clients and need a fun way to support them, embed videos right inside of the WordPress admin with easy support videos. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.